Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today is part 3, the final part of our Beatdown Battle EX2 difficulty series, where we get the final dupe of Stark. The previous 2 videos have used orange teams and green teams, and now it's time to try and brute force our way through with blue orb teams. Even though Yuki nerfs them by 50%, you can get around that. Blue orbs at 50% nerf still give you a decent amount of protection gauge and good skill points if you're running a blue protector. It's only when it hits like 80%. That's when things get kind of rough. So there are a number of blue teams that you can use to get through this, more easily than you would think. And the fact that they only have 717,000 HP means that any proper, EX team is going to be fairly free and easy to get through if you have built it properly, right? But let's go ahead and take a look at some of those properly built teams. Alright, second anniversary Visions of Coleus team, magic stacking team. We have one light character here, and that's Blanc, so she'll do really good damage, and everyone else will do pretty good damage. But Lumi, Ogre's Pride Soe for the attack buff and synergy power. Obviously, if you don't have him, you'll just bring another orb changer, probably a green converter of some sort. Someone to help you do more damage, maybe, I don't know. But he's like the free and easy slot. You do need to bring Coleus Rimuru because you do want to use his rainbow orbs to really get yourself going and get some ults. Blanc, Weakness Strike, Synergy down, Lumi giving Synergy, which you can use in this fight. And if you have her, you'll also be activating Synergy so we can get Synergy power from Soe. Violet, Orb Change, Magic Buff, Jean, single target damage dealer. This team can get the job done. Easier than you would think because blues are nerfed, but it's only a 50% nerf to blues. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Now, turn 1, you could do a number of things. You could use Rimuru's self-convert to blues, you could use Violet to convert, or you could just send 2 blues and pray you get a full hand of oranges like that, and that'll get you a lot of alt gauge just right away. I don't think it'll get everyone their alt, I don't think it'll give Jean's alt. Actually, not quite. So, you know what, that works for me. If there was a gauge increase there, it would have done it. But, don't really need to. Turn 3, doesn't really look that great for us. I do want blue orbs here, but it kind of gave us a weird thing. And we have 87 points, so realistically, we could, if I'm smart about it, which I'm not smart about it, so, I think we just send the green orbs and call it a day. We could have used Violet to change the orange and green, and then Soe could have changed the other 2 greens if I was being smart about it, but I wasn't, so we're just going to send the green orbs. Whatever. This is a lot better now, though, because we can alt swap, orb change, orb change. We won't have enough to do the rainbow alt change, though, which is a bit unfortunate, so we're going to hold down to that. I would preferably like to do that when we're getting everybody's alt, so like Violet was in the back and she'd come in and had just a few rainbows, but not quite here because we just haven't gotten a lot of points recently. But now it becomes very simple, because we can alt swap with Blanc, we could use Violet's orb change. She doesn't have any orbs here either, so, if anything, this would probably be a good turn to bring in Rimuru to use the rainbow convert. Let's see if I'm smart enough to do that. Oh, no, I don't have enough points. Never mind. Why? Because blues are nerfed. And we're only getting half the amount of skill points. Well, maybe not half, but we're getting a much less skill points than what we normally would if we were in a stage that didn't nerf blues. But we're spreading out the damage, so when we nuke, our nukes can do, decent amounts. We're looking for 3 single target alts to take down each of these 3 enemies, so 1 Violet, 1 Jean, 1 Blanc. Obviously, that's not working out for us very well, because Violet just does not want orbs, apparently. So, stack, stack. If you want, you could try and do an AoE alt with Rimuru. Like, you can. He's not going to get the Primal Demon damage buff, and he's also not going to get the Weakness Strike. Only Blanc is going to get that, so, Here, though, we could do this convert, and then we could use the rainbows here, but I decide against it for some strange reason. I don't really know why I didn't do that, but, it's something. Here, this is a weird hand. Let's just bring in some characters, and we can maybe alt swap, so... Let's do the Violet convert. Boom. All right, that's fine. So we convert. So we actually don't use the rainbow orbs at all. We're going to hold on to that. And then we'll bring Blanc in. We'll bring Jean in. Turn 8 is the nuke turn, but we're not going to be quite ready for that because we don't have an EX ult for both of our any of our characters, really. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Probably would have been a good turn to use the rainbow orbs, but we had orb changing issues, I guess, is what you want to call that. This is a good Violet hand, though, and we can just continue to stack. So, not an 8-turn team unless you get really lucky and you use some rainbow orbs and you get triple ults, and you would magically have enough points to use everything, which I don't even think I would have here. So, it is a bit of a toss-up. You do need to go a little bit further because blue stacking teams just need to build up, and we're not building very quickly. So here we use the rainbows. We'll bring Soe in? No, we're just going to run it. So this will get us the EX ult with both Jean and Blanc, who are the biggest damage dealers of this team, because Blanc has type advantage and she'll get the weakness strike. Jean has the personal synergy power buff if we didn't have Soe already. And then Violet doesn't even have an EX ult. So here we can buff. So 1, 2, 3. Again, Violet being up front for the weakness strike doesn't mean anything because we're not type advantage. We will bring... I guess we have to bring Soe in and uses his buff early. So we're not going to get the full 100% synergy power, I don't think. Orb change... Oh, no, we do. We do, okay. So that gives it to Jean and Blanc, not Violet. Violet will at least get the ult damage and the magic buff, but no EX ult, no synergy power, no attack buff. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And see how this goes. 3.4 million, good. Jean, 2.2 million. Violet, 435, but then the follow-up orbs, because they're so powerful, managed to take them out. So that's 9 turns. It works, it works. It works better than probably what you thought it was going to do, but it's not the most perfect thing in the world. And I could have also played that a bit better. And if you don't have Soe, you're not going to do nearly as much damage on the ults for Blanc and Jean. But they only have 700-something thousand HP. You don't need to do 3 million damage. Alternatively, you could attempt to bastardize this entire team, and you could bring Lumi, Coleus Rimuru again, free-to-play Rieger, Violet again, and then Prosper, Lumi, and Elmesia gonna be our AoE DPS characters. Neither of them are type advantage, but you'll get the attack stacks from Lumi, at least on Lumi, not Elmesia, just Lumi, and technically Rimuru. But you'll get a magic buff, you'll get ult down, you'll get ult damage up for both of these two girls. And, I mean, if you thought the first Video C team was like, it looks a little bit funky, then this is really, really bad. This is not a good team, but I managed to get it done, so I'm going to include it. We're starting with 36 skill points, and we have Fire and Earth characters that we can bring up front, so we could convert the hand turn 1 into full blues. And that gets us at least started on stacking with Lumi so we can get extra skill points later on. And then as long as we leave these 3 characters up front, we can always pretty much full convert a hand, which is going to be really helpful. So here, alright, stack of Lumi. Cool, we'll make back some points on blue orbs, and then we could use these 3 greens, because we need to get a few more points, because Lumi cost 55 and we did not have 55 points. So now we do. So we could do that. We could use Rieger to convert, 2 of them, and then we could use Violet to convert them, or we could just send these 2 Rieger orbs for some reason. And then this is a good Violet hand, so we can just take Rieger out, or we could full alt swap with Lumi. There's a number of options you can do, but here we're going to rainbow early. Now, we only have Rieger to double alt swap. So he only changes 2, and we're going to need to hold on to these ults because we need EX ult damage. So this is turn 4. Great. We're not nuking right now, so let's skip ahead to turn 9. All you do is stack. Again, if Prosper Lumi is going to get the attack stacks from Visions of Coleus Protector Lumi, and as you can see, turn 9, we were not able to kill on the nukes. In fact, let's go back for the nuke. Here we go. So we were able to get an EX ult with Elmesia, not Lumi, unfortunately, but we'll send this. Lumi does 164. Elmesia does 327. So that's why they're a bit low on HP now. But that's it. That's with the magic buff and the Almesia buff. And we still need to do more damage. And amazingly, there's still 4 more minutes in this clip because we just don't do damage to them. So skipping ahead to turn 13, Gazel is dead. We have a ult with Rieger. Great. I think we kill Yuki here. Yes, alright, so we do kill Yuki, and then we have 2 ults, and Yom has ult resistance, unfortunately. It is running out. So you can either attempt to nuke now, or you just try and brute force past it. And we have enough points to, again, buff fully. So ult buff, ult down, magic buff, another stack, 2 stacks of attack on Lumi, and this is finally able to get the job done. Congratulations, that really sucked and took forever to record. But if you want to bastardize the VOC team and do something like this, you certainly can. Alright, Commander team works quite well, actually, if you run it like this. You don't need to do millions upon millions of damage, right? And Shizu is a perfectly capable AoE character once the physical resistance falls off, and you put enough damage buffs on her. Renard, Weakness Strike, doesn't really matter for Shizu. It matters for Hinata, which is single target, but whatever. Ult Resistance down does matter. New Year's Blessing Rimuru is going to help ensure that we can get an EX ult for Shizu rather quickly, and that's the only reason she's here. Second Anniversary Hinata, Element buff. You could also bring Christmas Shizu if you want, especially if she's skill fused, because then you get the extra AoE down, and that's really powerful. And then Glenda, gonna give us access to synergy and be a double ult swapper. Shizu has her turn 1 convert for oranges to blues, so you can get a full hand of blues working. And then her physical buff and EX ult damage, combined with Hinata's 120% ult damage and then the synergy down, means that you can do a lot of damage with this team pretty quickly. But we do need to get started here. So let's bring Hinata in. Okay, well I could do that instead. Okay, well, that's something. I guess we're going for Rimuru orbs for the rainbow convert. Yeah, okay, so let's reset that. Let's try again. Let's try again and be smart about it now. There, full convert to blues, and then we'll send it. And then somewhere along the line, whether it be turn 3, turn 6, as long as we can get a decent amount of orbs for New Year's Rimuru, we can convert a lot of them to rainbows, which, right here, we have 4 Shizu orbs with another one coming in. So that's 5 orbs that we can guarantee for Shizu. So I think what we do here is we just send her away after we turn off the animations, and then we send 1 orb, whether it be Hinata orbs, whichever one, green for more points, I guess, or blue, whatever. And now we have 5, and now we have another one coming in the future, so we're gonna, again, burn out another orb. So 2 wasted turns right there, but we guarantee that we get 6 rainbows for Hinata, not Hinata, but Shizu. And then we can also use the future Hand of Orange skill from second Annie Hinata, which if you don't have her, you're not going to have access to that skill. You just send 6 oranges and call it a day. But now we have the EX ult, and now she can pretty much live in the back. We don't really need to do anything here. And we got lucky. We have another orange orb incoming now, so we can safely send Shizu away and then have a full hand of oranges still to use. And we're going to have enough points to nuke, because we're not running a full, complete 80-point across-the-board team. We've got a 40, and we've got an 80, and a 90, and a blah, blah, blah. We're going to have enough points by turn 8. We just need to wait for their ult resistance and physical resistance to go away, so Shizu can at least decently nuke. So here, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's alt swap, let's convert, boom, 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 and then another stack. The stacks don't really matter on Shizu because she's not weak point, but hey, it works. And then we'll just send these ults, and then we just need to get enough points to use our full buffs. So this works. Another double alt swap and an orb change. We're not even, like, we're going to get a Hinata ult maybe right here. Actually, I don't know if we are. But we have a Glenda ult, and she's also AoE character, so she can function as like a sub DPS character. And also, we have Hinata in the back, who is a magic character, who isn't going to get all the buffs, but she can be our third AoE, just as a little bit extra insurance, in case your Shizu doesn't do as much damage as mine. But here, yeah, did not get a Hinata ult, that's fine, not the biggest deal. But we can now full buff here, 455 skill points. Let's bring Glenda in, so we can give both her and Shizu the synergy. And then we could use the alt buff with Hinata. Boom. And okay, we can do this first. Whatever. We don't have an orb for Hinata anyways. So 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. Another stack of Renard. Now we've got a fully buffed Shizu, a pretty buffed Glenda, and then a Hinata. And Shizu does 1,000,000. Which is more than enough. And if she's not fully duped out, your gear isn't good, then you have 2 other AoE alts that are going to follow up and hopefully finish the job for you. But that works pretty well, actually, as long as you can get some rainbow orbs for Shizu. Alright, final blue team I have for you. Probably not the only blue teams that can do this, but the only one that the last one I'm going to show you today is the Ogre's Pride meta, with some units that we've already seen earlier today. So Benimaru giving us 100% pierce power, alt damage. 100% pierce power will overpower the pierce resistance that the enemies have by only about 30% or something, but hey, something's better than nothing. And then Violet, Orb Change, Magic Buff, Elmesia, alt up and alt down for our AoE Fire Momiji. Soe, again, attack and synergy power, Momiji with her 2 buffs, and then Ogre's Pride Shuna. Mostly here for the ult swap, because her weakness strike doesn't matter, because we're not type advantage at all, and we're not looking to nuke with her single target. So if you want to bring, like, Blanc instead, that'll work just fine. But orb changing, blues, stacking. We're also not running a rainbow converter here, but I do believe the charm is alt gauge on blues. So we're actually going to bring Momiji into the middle slot so we can get those 2 oranges and at least get her jump started. And as we can see from this hand, that was not the correct move, because Violet got 5 goddamn orbs. So that's awesome. That's incredible. But, you know, blue stacking. It's blue stacking. What do you expect out of this? So let's skip ahead a little bit. Skip ahead because we had to restart. Yep, okay. Turn 4, turn 5. We have a Momiji ult, so that's something. We're also going to get a Soe ult, because we have one, and we're going to get an EX ult for him too. So he can be our backup DPS character, I guess. But we're really looking to nuke with Momiji, because she's got that personal fire attack buff as well. We just need to get some Momiji orbs, which thankfully we do. So, 1, 2, and then 3 alts come in. What is the incoming orb? It is a Shuna orb. So, alt swap, orb change, boom, boom. We got 4 Momijis now. This will get us close to her EX ult. Not quite, but close. And then we're almost ready to nuke. The ult resistance is leaving next turn. We still need one more orb for her, which thankfully we get 1 orb. I mean, if we take Soe out and use the alt swap, we would bring in another blue orb for her. So let's do that instead. And now this will guarantee that we get her EX ult. Because maybe we get unlucky and that 1 nerf blue doesn't actually cover that little tiny bit of remaining gauge that we need. But now that we have 2, we're good. And we have enough points now to full nuke. So we don't need to use Shuna's buff at all because it's useless here. We do want to use Violet's skill, and we want to use everything else. So magic buff, boom. Bring Elmesia in. Okay, we'll bring you in first. And then we'll bring Elmesia in. So Soe not getting the magic buff. Also not getting the ult damage up from Elmesia because he's not earth or fire. But we can use the Momiji skills. Benimaru is now giving us the 100% pierce power, and we have a full 6 hand, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Momiji does 4.3 million damage. So ain't that something? And if you don't have Elmesia, well, not a big deal, because as you can see, we have way too much damage to begin with, and you don't really need her. You could bring Water Shuna or something, or Wind Millum, or Earth Guy, EX Guy, and you can get ult damage from them, and it's not going to be nearly as much power as what Elmesia is doing, but we don't really need that much power because we've got so many other support characters here. So there are 4 blue teams that can also take on EX2 Beatdown Battle. This is the final part of the EX2 series, so if you're looking for green teams or orange teams, go back a few days and you'll find those in my channel. But if you have any other blue teams that you found to work, because I didn't show them off here, let me know in the comments. But that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.